All right.
We're muted.
All right, you guys, we are back. I apologize. I think I personally hit the wrong button there. But according to my last chat, you guys, there was a bunch of y'all that were already at 5. I think Sam was the main one to get there. But I'm going to go ahead and take my laptop, the streaming thing, and just minimize it because I hit the wrong button earlier. That's why we went off stream, not copyright. So all good. And speaking of the stream, we're going to go ahead right now and just shoot right to one of our interviews we did earlier with one of our students, Sam Houston. You guys know Sam. Let's go ahead right now and just hear back from Sam and hear what we talked about today. Hopefully y'all are getting back online now, and here we go.
You see my hibiscus here. You see that? Yeah. So they're coming in great. I did nothing, but So Sam, do you know how to do haircuts? Because
what do you mean by that?
This part right here is really sticking up. I can't go get a haircut right now.
I know a guy.
You know a guy that could cut this for me?
I do.
I mean, it's really, my receding hairline is really showing in this interview, man. Gosh. All right. Anyway, hey, Sam, I'm so glad you're here. We want to ask you questions. We want to know from students what's going on. And so first things first, I want to know, what has Sam Houston been doing during the quarantine? Can you tell me a little bit about what you've been up to?
I've not really been following the rule, about 6 feet. And I've just hanging out. I've been swimming, relaxing, homework, playing with friends, like.
So you're just like, you don't care about
if I get it, I get
COVID.
it.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay. That's very that's very brave of you, and frankly irresponsible. But I get it, man. I get it. We're not telling the rest of the students to follow your example, but you're just being real. You're just being real, and you're just telling people what you've been doing.
Yeah.
So what is school like right now in this new Zoom world? Like, how many Zoom calls do you have to do?
Well, I have one tomorrow for biology, and I also have one for Spanish tomorrow. So it's like they're trying to interact with the class more, so we're not like slacking off. But yeah.
Is that going okay? I mean, like, do you feel like you're doing more school or less school now that we're in quarantine?
I feel like I'm doing more school, but less learning.
Okay. More school, like you're on the school clock more, but you're learning a lot less right now.
Yeah.
School. Okay. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. This is an important question, Sam. Okay. If you were quarantined with a character from the last TV show or movie that you've seen, who would you be quarantined with right now?
That's hard.
Have you watched a TV show or a movie lately? That's really what the question is.
Yeah.
You're having to think about it, or are you like trying to make something up?
Both.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's go this way, okay? I mean, we're a youth ministry, and we love the Bible, and we love Jesus. Let me ask it this way, okay? What character in the Bible would you want to be quarantined with? And what character in the Bible would you not want to be quarantined with?
I would not want to be quarantined with the Paul Saul. I don't want to be like the before Saul. I don't want to be with him.
Oh, the Saul guy?
Yeah, right. I don't want to be with him. But I do
kind of like a stiff.
Want to be with Jesus, though. Like, that would be pretty cool.
Okay. All right. I mean, kind of the classic answer. But let me ask you why. Why would you want to be quarantined with Jesus right now? I mean, it's fairly obvious, but
he is that shield of protection.
Okay. All right. Now, why would you not want to be quarantined with Saul? And not like the Old Testament dude, but like Paul who became Saul, that guy. Yeah.
He'd probably kill me, like before Corona.
Oh yeah, because he was killing people. I see. Yeah. Okay. All right. Very cool. Now, let me ask you this question. He could throw rocks at you. I've got rocks in my new backyard here. Just right here.
Oh gosh, that scared me.
Yeah. So anyway, that doesn't matter. That's not part of this conversation. Here's what I really want to know. Once the quarantine's over, like once we are released from quarantine, what's the first thing you're gonna do?
It depends on when we get released from quarantine. Because the first thing, I hate to say it, but the first thing I want to do, I want to go back to school. I hate it. Yes.
What is it that you're missing at school right now that you want to go back to?
Okay, the friends and the teachers, they just make everything like a little better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never thought that way until Corona.
So like if I hear you right, you're saying like you miss school. Like do we have that on record?
You have that on record, yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would agree.
Isn't that crazy? Like, isn't it crazy that now that we don't have school, you kind of miss it? You miss your friends. You miss the routine of it all. When before, like just 2 months ago, you would say like, please get me out of this place, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, cool. Well, hey, Sam, before we go, I want to ask you one other question, and that is if you could say something to anybody, like right now, all these students that are watching this, I hit the table. What would you want to say to people right now who are being quarantined or doing what you're doing, school and all that? What do you want to say to them?
Buy as much toilet paper as possible for fun.
Where are you finding this toilet paper?
From I have a tree in my backyard.
You have a toilet paper tree?
I do.
Nice. Everyone go to Sam's house and get some toilet paper. He's got it growing on trees out there.
I gotcha.
All right, let me ask you, like, what are those trophies behind you? What did you win? I want to know.
Those are just like Little League participation awards.
Okay. So it might have been a last place, but it's a really big gold trophy.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome, dude.
Maybe second to last.
Second to last. Okay, let's
Let's just compromise.
Yeah. Well, dude, awesome getting to talk to you, man. And I hope everyone enjoyed this, and we'll be back together soon. But have a great one. Stay safe out there. Don't do what Sam does. 6 feet, guys. 6 feet.
6 feet.
Awesome. Hey, we're back, and that was a fancy transition. Thanks, Ellie, for that. They're all with me right now. Hey, sorry, I hit a wrong button earlier. Hopefully all of y'all got back on the next live stream. And also, I scheduled the stream, and then I started a stream. Like, I'm messing it all up. But I'm glad y'all found it. Real quick, before we go any further, I do need to give a shout-out. We did a quarantine challenge this week on Instagram, and we had 3 of you that were just amazing, okay? So we had Sarah Pascal, we had Anya Carlson, and we had Colby Patton do a video for us that was amazing, all right? And so we tallied up everything that was in your photo, and it was a really close race, but the winner is Anya. Anya Carlson, you have won! You have won the quarantine challenge. We got some Chick-fil-A care package coming your way, and glad that you played. We'll try to do some more challenges. The rest of you guys, I don't know where y'all were. We only had 3 submit, but they were amazing, the ones that submitted. And I will say this too. We gave out a weekly wish challenge between you and a friend. Apparently that was difficult to do because we literally had no submissions this week. No one wanted a weekly wish. We didn't grant one because you literally didn't even send one in. So we were ready to like go crazy, but no weekly wish. So hey, next week you can either hashtag weekly wish, that's WKLY wish, or you can direct message us a weekly wish, and we'll share it on social media, on Instagram or Facebook, any of that stuff. But send in your weekly wishes. We're still doing those, guys. And every single Wednesday night, we're going to do different bits. And tonight, I thought we could play another game with my family as y'all are all like getting back on screen. It's so good to see you all. I see you, Braden. I see you, Chase. Yeah, you can't come over, man. Like, it's social distancing, even though you came over the other day. But good to see you guys. I don't know who the Blue Cosmos is. Glad you're here. Sam Hume, I see you. Y'all, thank you for tuning in. So now what we're going to do is the Whisper Challenge this way. I don't know if this is going to work. I mean, this could like go terribly wrong. Because there is about a 15-second delay between what I'm actually saying and when you guys see it. So that's complicated. So basically, we're gonna like say some things, and we're gonna have to wait 15 seconds for y'all to see it, and then you would then guess what it is. So because of the 15-second thing, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a couple of them. And we're going to mute our audio and just say the words with muted audio. And you guys in the comments section just guess what we're saying on the Whisper Challenge virtual style. Okay? And real quick, before we do, let me give you a clue. This all has to do with Houston, okay? So these are things about our city, like just it's going to connect to Houston in some way. Are you guys ready to play? I'm not going to sit here for 15 seconds and wait, but I'm ready. I hope you're ready. We're going to play a game. Abby, do you want to go first?
Yeah.
You wanna go first? Okay, so we have to mute the audio, and Ellie's going to mute it, and she's going to get up here and say the first one, and you try to guess what she's saying, and we might try to do two in between y'all guessing, but here we go. Let's do this. First one. Here we go. All right, I don't know if y'all got that one. Be guessing. We're going to do the second one now. Second one, mute. Shun. Yeah, y'all are really trying. It's not going well. It's not going well, but let's do another one. Let's see if any of y'all get it. We're going to do one more with Grace here. She's going to say it, and let's see if any of you guys can get this one.
Oh, we got Race Chest.
Oh. Chad, you got Galveston Island. Right on.
Woo!
All right, let's do one that's easy for Grace. Just say this one, okay? We're just going to say this one. Here we go. Well, you guys did really terribly, honestly. So, yeah, the first one, y'all got Galveston Island. So, Chad, that one goes to you. You did it. We had a couple more. So, let's see if anything else comes in here in a second. Because, yeah, Sanitary Moose was not correct. Oh, it was Mallory. Mallory, you were the one. Okay, all right. Way to go, Mallory. NASA. All right. Yes. Yeah. Oh, just this word. Yep, that one. Okay, you did it. You did it good. Wow. Way to go, guys. Way to play. That was fantastic. Hey, we're about to go to another. We're gonna go to another interview. Do you want to say anything before we leave? Anything to the audience? You guys want to?
Oh yeah.
What do you want to say?
Let's say we miss you.
We miss y'all.
We wish we could be there with you.
Stream's not over. Okay, they're
No,
leaving.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Okay.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. As I pass them off, we had another amazing interview. And by the way, because of the stream issue, if you missed my interview with Sam Houston, we will post it again. And by the way, I need to do a quick shout out for our YouTube. We are going to figure YouTube out, I promise you. We're calling YouTube right now to get them down here to shoot this thing. Anyways, hey, if we can get over 100 subscribers this week, we're going to throw a party next Wednesday night. So help me out. Send this to a few friends, share it, and let's at least get over 100. Y'all, we're like already at 70, but like subscribe, and we're going to be putting new, fresh content up all the time. Help us out, spread the word, and subscribe, all right? I'm not going to do that every week. I'm not going to beg, but right now I am. I need to get past 100 because YouTube will open up some stuff for us if we do. All right, so cool. Now, here's what's next. We did have Sam Houston's interview. It was awesome. Now we're going to interview, by popular demand, y'all wanted to hear from Allison New and Jeremy New. So without further ado, let me cue it up here. This is the interview with Jeremy and Allison. Here we go.
I feel like the puns are endless right now. It's just news and newsworthy with Jeremy and Allison New.
Hello.
I don't know. That seemed like a weird intro.
Okay.
Seemed like a weird intro. Newsworthy. So we're gonna work on those. You guys we should get some blogs going for y'all. That has a ring to it, Jeremy.
I feel it. I like it.
Jeremy, did you comb your hair today?
I just woke up from a nap, so no.
Okay. I apologize to call in right in the middle of naps, but
Okay.
and Allison, you've been working since 6 a.m., right?
Yes, absolutely.
Of course. Yeah. Me too. Well, hey, I'm glad y'all are here. I want to do a quick interview. Students are asking all kinds of questions. They want to know what's going on in y'all's life, y'all's world. And so, I mean, like, really the first question is this, like, what have you guys been doing in this quarantine?
Yard work, right?
Oh my gosh, we've done so much yard work.
Pretty much.
Well, tell us about the yard work.
Go ahead, babe. Tell them about the yard work. Tell them about that big stump you pulled out of the backyard.
All by myself. No, our backyard needs some rehabbing, and we had 4 or 5 crepe myrtles. And if y'all don't know anything about crepe myrtles, they can grow really tall, and their root systems are hard to destroy. So we battled,
Yeah.
one root system in particular, and ended up pulling a stump of a crepe myrtle out of the ground, and it was probably well over 100 pounds. We'll say that. It was
like, when you say battle, what are you talking? Like, what does this battle entail? Like, these shovels? You have like,
yeah,
like a sledgehammer. What are we doing?
Yeah, shovels, a giant crowbar.
I even used the chainsaw into the dirt.
Into the dirt.
Yeah.
Do you have a picture of this?
No.
Allison, we gotta get a picture of that, man.
Should have video.
Find it.
You're chainsawing the dirt, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
Did it work? Did the chainsaw work?
It did.
The chainsaw worked, but the bar she used worked the most.
Mm-hmm.
The crowbar?
Yeah, it was a 2.5-hour ordeal, but now it's over.
So yard work during the quarantine. What else have you guys, anything else y'all been doing in this quarantine to pass the time?
Cooking. We're cooking and not setting the kitchen on fire, so I feel it's very successful.
What
Go outside.
Yeah.
What did y'all last cook?
We did burgers yesterday.
Yeah, burgers and homemade wedge
from
potatoes.
every plate. Don't need the grocery store when you got everything.
Yeah. Those
real good.
Meal subscription things, they're still delivering, so we're thankful because they give you
That's cool.
instructions and all the ingredients you need. So.
Well, hey, I want to ask you a question that I already asked Sam earlier. If you were quarantined with a character from the last TV show or movie that you have seen, who would you be quarantined with right now?
Go ahead, babe.
I did not tell them the questions beforehand, students. This is all brand new, so they have to just go.
Just the last show that we watched.
I'm sweating. There's this. Well, last night I went to sleep watching Doomsday Preppers. So
hey.
That was good.
What was the guy's or girl's name on Doomsday that you would now be quarantined with?
I don't remember, but the ghost in the house, her name was Greta. So,
Oh, okay, a ghost.
yeah.
So you would be quarantined with a really great prepper that would have everything you need, but
Yeah.
there'd also be a ghost.
Yeah, in the hills of North Carolina. But yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
We've watched the same show, so I was like, man, I really want to be the guy with the RV that just travels around. Like, he's not a prepper in his RV.
Yeah.
He just goes city to city. He's ready to go. A mobile
Just
prep.
seeing all these weirdos all over the world. I'm just kidding. All right. Well,
For what we're living in.
Yeah.
okay. Well, then let me ask you this about quarantine life. If you could be quarantined with anyone in the Bible, who would it be? And then second to that, who in the Bible would you most not want to be quarantined with? I mean, this is a Christian show here. We're a student ministry, so we got to talk about the Bible. So who would you want to be quarantined with and who would you not out of the Bible?
Okay, I know for sure who I would not want to be quarantined with. King Nebuchadnezzar.
Oh, yes.
Because he would just make me all the time want to tell him how great he is, and that would get really old. So who would I want to be quarantined with? That's a hard one because there's lots of nice people.
There's some great people in that story of the Bible.
I wouldn't want to be with Goliath. I know that.
Why? Like toilet paper usage?
Yes.
Goliath would be the worst.
That would be
Eating everything.
Eating all my food, all my bosses.
That's what I was thinking. He'd use a lot of TP.
Oh, I could be quarantined with Joseph. Because well, he was, a prepper.
Yep.
That's at least what they said in that last episode we watched.
That is true, actually. He was good to go for 7 years.
It was like,
enough food.
different times, different standards, but okay. But he also was really nice and forgiving, and he shared what he had. So I'd go Joseph. I'd be
cool.
Cool.
What about you, Jared?
Cool on Moses' staff. That was a cool thing to have. I feel like it could be useful right now.
Just parting water and stuff.
Making things happen.
It's good.
So Jeremy, let me ask you this, okay? Like, we know this isn't going to be forever, even though it feels kind of like we're going to be quarantined forever. My question to you is, what's the first thing you're going to do the moment the quarantine is over and the ban is lifted? What are you going to do?
Oh man, I'm going to go play an escape game.
Okay. Escape game.
Come back up. I'm ready to go do something.
Yep. All right. Allison, same question to you. When the quarantine's over, what's the first thing you want to do?
I'm going to go get a mani-pedi.
Okay. Can you not do those now? They look down on that? Because I thought the ladies still already wear the masks.
Well, some do. It depends on how you're getting your nails done. Like if they're using a lot of chemical stuff, they'll wear the mask. I don't know that places are open right now. They very well could be, but
I don't think that's an essential business.
I don't feel like it's a business.
If I can't get my hair cut, you can't get your nails did.
Yeah, but Jeremy, you have to be honest here. Have you ever had a manicure or pedicure?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I've never had a manicure. Okay, take that back. Pedicure, yes. Manicure, I'm good.
Yeah.
Can you tell those of us who've never had that, like, can you tell us about that experience from a dude's perspective? Like, what did you think about the pedi?
If that lady comes after my toes with the little scissors, it's world's ending. It's not happening. I'll just say no. But they can rub my legs all day.
Good. They rub your legs.
Yeah, they run up all the way up your legs. Right.
Yeah, they do. The place we go, you get like a calf massage and a foot massage. Yeah, all the things.
But the little scissors, they go after your toes with it.
I don't know about that. Well, let me give you all one last question. This has been very enlightening, for sure. But okay, all the students, we're all like sitting around, not a lot going on. We need a word of encouragement or a word of advice for right now in the season we're in. So if you had like one thing you wanted to tell the students, each of you can answer this. What would be one thing you want to tell them right now?
Right now. This is good. Don't sleep too late. No. I think what I would encourage our students with is use your time wisely. You may never have another moment in time like this. And so instead of looking down on all, and seeing all of the negatives that you could easily come up with so many negatives right now in this moment of what's been taken away from you or the opportunities that you don't have. But instead of running in that direction, to turn and run to the positive and look at the opportunities that you now have, and to use your time wisely. I know we've been doing some of the don't waste your break stuff. And so I would just echo that. Don't waste your break. Don't waste this time that you have. It's so unique. And there's so many opportunities. You just have to look for them. So look for those special opportunities and sit in those instead of running to the negative. So that's what I would say.
Nice. Love it. Love it. Jeremy.
Good.
Thanks.
Yeah, she took it yours, I know. But what would be your advice, Jeremy, for all the students right now?
Just start a routine and keep your routine throughout. Like, it's so hard to be through the day and not understand, like, oh man, like I can't go do this and I can't go do that. But build yourself a home routine, stay in it, get in the shower every day.
Yeah.
Have a blast. And don't forget to reach out to people because they need that too.
Awesome. What amazing advice. Y'all are awesome. We miss getting to hang out. One of these days we will, but thank y'all for joining us today.
You're welcome.
See you guys later. Bye, y'all.
I cut that one off because I'm now producing. But wow, glad to have the news earlier. We had a good interview, and we're going to do some interviews every week. So feel free to DM us and suggest people you want to hear from on Wednesday nights, who you want me to interview. I'd love to know your suggestions. We may not get to everyone, but hey, who knows? We may do like a 10-person interview at one time, Zoom chat. I'm getting pretty good at Zoom. I'm not going to lie, yesterday, y'all, I was on a Zoom meeting like one after the next from like 10 in the morning until late at night because even my men's group, we met last night and we were on Zoom. And I don't know how y'all are doing with Zoom, but man, I got to get a break and go outside and see the sun every once in a while because it was a lot. But I am getting used to it, and it does seem like we're going to be here for a little while. We hear the news, and sometimes it's just like, oh man, how long is this going to last? And I know a lot of y'all are asking that, and we're all trying to figure out how this changes everything. But what I do love about it, if there's anything, is that we're all in this together. Like, we're all experiencing this. We're all going through this. And we need each other right now. And we've got to figure out ways just to support each other and encourage each other right now. Like, I know I need encouragement sometimes. But I also know the people around me need encouragement. I don't know about you, but I've kind of like noticed this trend of like some people being like good, like everything's cool, I'm fine, I'm an introvert, I kind of like this. And you got other people that are like in freak out moment. And then it kind of shifts. And then like the people that were good are starting to now freak out and like, oh goodness, like, are we going to graduate? Like, are we going to be done? Like, am I going to have to do school this way for the rest of my life? And so there's a lot of ups and downs right now in all of us. And I sent out a poll question on Instagram. If you're not following us on Instagram, I think we may have it on Facebook. I can't remember if we've done that. But it's usually just a poll of some sort so I can know like kind of where y'all are at and what y'all want to talk about. And this week, one of the themes that you guys picked for us to talk about was loneliness. And I think loneliness is a great thing for us to talk about right now because loneliness doesn't have to do with just proximity to people. Loneliness isn't really about being alone, but it has to do with connection. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. You know, it's interesting. Some of you aren't familiar with the church calendar, but what happens at the end of February is really the 40 days that lead up to Easter. We call that season Lent. Lent, L-E-N-T. And it's this time of preparation. Just like Advent is this preparation before Christmas, we're in this Lent season, which is a preparation to Holy Week and the Last Supper. It starts with Ash Wednesday. It's a Catholic thing that we have inherited from church tradition way back when. The interesting thing about Lent is this. Generally speaking, with Lent, it's a time to be without something. So most people fast from chocolate or from Netflix or from, you name it, like phones. I hope you don't fast from that. But anyway, they just pick something. I'm not going to eat meat for this next 40 days. Lent is about going without something. And I think it's pretty crazy that right as Lent began, all of the COVID-19 stuff happened, and we literally have to go without so many things. We have to go without face-to-face personal contact right now. We have to go without being at school. We have to go without like physical teachers that we can talk to. I mean, I guess you can on Zoom, right? But we have to go without these things. Even the way we're doing groceries, the way we're doing youth ministry, the way we're talking to our friends, everything is changed. And so it's really hard, right? But there's also some good in it. And I believe Jesus wants to give us a word of encouragement. Because if you're feeling lonely or if you're feeling like all alone, I want you to know, first off, you're not alone in your loneliness. Like, there's a lot of us struggling with that. And I have good moments and bad moments. I have moments where I get to do a Zoom call with a few of you. We've been chatting, or I've been talking to some small group leaders, and I'm like, okay, like, y'all are doing this, and I'm finding out about that. And anytime I can hear what's going on in your world, it makes me feel connected to you. I don't have to have proximity, but I need connection, and so do you. And so the way that we combat loneliness is with connection. And I think it's an amazing season with Easter, because here's the point. Like, if I could give you any point, I want to give you two things tonight. The first one is this, and I wrote it down because I want to say it right. The first one is that Jesus was separated so that you and I could be connected. Jesus was separated so that you and I could be connected. And you're like, what are you talking about? What does that mean? I want to go to it. So I'm already rushing ahead to Good Friday right now. And Good Friday, if you don't know what that is, that's this Friday when we would observe Jesus' death, his crucifixion, him going to Pilate, him being put on trial, and all that Jesus goes through for us is Good Friday. We're going to actually have a service at the Met that you can go to. We're working on it right now. And by the way, that's not this Friday. I'm sorry. It's in a week, Easter week. So it's like the 10th. Is that right? The 10th? I think it's the 10th. Easter's the 12th. So yeah, the 10th. That Friday. So we'll be celebrating Good Friday, or observing it, I guess. It's not really a celebration. It's actually very somber. And this week, by the way, is Palm Sunday, when Jesus comes into Jerusalem declaring that he's the Messiah. And I get to preach Sunday. So I hope you're joining us Sunday as well. We have worship cranking. We're going to all be together in our homes worshiping together. So I hope that you and your family tune in on Sundays as well. But let me get back to the story. Because on the crucifixion, I want to read just a verse. This is Matthew 27. So if you've got a Bible, go to Matthew 27. And if you don't have a Bible, at least just blow up the comments with you're excited about the Bible right now, all right? I can almost hear you. All right, so Matthew 27, really we have the writings of Jesus' death, his final hours, and it is really a hard read. I don't know if you've even seen The Passion of the Christ, but I watched it, and it is like really hard to even watch. And so, anyways, let me look at this here. I'm gonna read verse 45 and 46. And here's what Jesus says. It says that from noon until 3 in the afternoon, darkness had come over the land. Now, Jesus is already crucified. He's been up there a while, so I'm getting to the end of this. It says that from noon until 3, darkness comes over the land. And at about 3 in the afternoon, Jesus cries out in a loud voice. And here is what Jesus himself says. My God, why have you forsaken me? Why have you forsaken me? And what we know of this moment is that Jesus, throughout all of his time on earth, was perfectly connected to the Father. That God's looking down on him going, this is my son in whom I'm well pleased and whom I love. And Jesus is saying, like, I only do what I see the Father doing, and him and I are just close as can be. We're closer than the air that I'm breathing. But in this moment, this is the first moment of Jesus' humanity, that God himself turns his back on his son and separates. Because all of humanity's sin, all the weight of our shame and our guilt and what we've done is put on Christ. And so Jesus has all this, and he's being judged for your sin and for my sin. And so God and Christ are separate in this moment when Jesus dies. God dies. That's a crazy, crazy thought. That's what death is. Death is separation. It's terrible. It's a horrible thing. But then it says this, verse 51. So Matthew 27:51. At that moment, the curtain of the temple was torn into from top to bottom. The earth shook and the rocks split. Did you catch that? At that moment, the curtain of the temple was torn from top to bottom. Let me explain what that means. You see, all through Jewish history, God would be, his presence would be known in the Holy of Holies, in the tabernacle, in this tent that they would set up, all through the Old Testament, even into the New Testament, in Jesus' day. And there was this thick curtain that represented the Holy of Holies, that no one was allowed there because God's presence was there. And if you were to step before that curtain, your sin would be exposed and you would be judged on the spot and more than likely killed. In fact, they would tie a rope around the high priest, and the high priest only went through this curtain once a year. And to do that, he did all this ceremony and all this cleansing and all these things, and they sacrificed animals so that he would be covered in blood when he went, and they had to put a rope on him just in case there was still sin. Was he opened that curtain and fell dead, they could get him out. That's how serious this is. But I don't want to get into all that. All it really means is this, is there was a curtain that was a separating point between man and God's presence. And what happens right here when it says the curtain was torn in two is very, very significant, because what it means is there is no longer a need for a curtain. Because Jesus was separated, you and I get to be connected to God. Like he bought that with his own life and blood. And I don't know about you, it's been hard for me lately to get into God's word, to spend time with him in prayer. I feel like my world is upside down. I don't even have a rhythm or a routine or a schedule. And yet, look what it cost God so that I could meet with him, so that I could pray to him, so that I could be in relationship with him. Do not take that for granted, students. We are not alone. God is here through Christ. He is with you. He joins us in this. Maybe our prayer life could be a whole new thing as we walk out of this. That we were forced almost to pray because we had no one else to talk to, so we're just talking to God. And maybe make this moment a moment where we are not separated from God, where we dive in deeper. And I want to challenge you. I know that Jeremy said it, but get a routine. Hopefully this week, we're a couple days into this second week of all this, but establish a routine. All right? And I wrote this down, and I don't want to forget how I said it, so hold on. Make time. That's my word to you. Make the time. Make the time to connect with God. It's not going to happen on its own. You're not just going to get up and do it. So actually schedule it. Make it a Zoom meeting. I don't care, like something on your calendar. But make it be a Zoom between you and the Word of God. We're going to start a YouVersion plan this week as a student ministry. We're going to re-kick that off with a new one. And so you'll be getting that in the morning. If any of y'all want to follow along with this, you can go to the Bible app. You can search, I think, the Met students. It's hard to find, but maybe your friends, y'all can just share it with each other for some of y'all that find it. But that's my number one point. You're like, you have another point? Yes, I have one more point, okay? Loneliness comes when we don't feel connected. Connected is not with proximity. Connected is like being seen, man, like someone knowing what's going on in your world. Being thought of, right? Being understood. When we are seen and known and thought of and people know what's going on in our world, we're connected to them. And so not only should we be the ones to initiate that and connect with other people. Like if you're lonely, I want to just challenge you, connect with someone. That doesn't mean just send them a text. That means like find a way to get on video, to talk to them, find a way to get through and communicate. That's the way loneliness goes away, is when we connect with Jesus, who is with us, and we connect with each other. So my second point of making a connection is this, and I've said this in a lot of messages, right? But it's this: be the friend you want someone to be for you. So when you wish someone would just like reach out to you, just give you a note of encouragement, send you a silly picture and help you laugh a little bit right now, share something funny or share good news. By the way, there's a good YouTube right now from Jim from The Office. I don't know how to spell his last name, but it's the good news, right? Like it's he's sharing, everyone's sharing bad news. There's actually good news out there. What if we started sharing good news and connecting in that way? Maybe writing a note and connecting with a neighbor. But that's the way that we combat loneliness right now, is connecting with Jesus and connecting with each other. Fight for that. You're going to have to make time. It's not going to just naturally happen, especially right now. You're not going to naturally connect with anyone unless you reach out. So be the first. Reach out. Be the first in the morning to spend time on your knees before God. Going, God, this is hard. Like, I need your encouragement, your hope, your light in my life. And then let's spread that to other people. I've gone way too long, but it has been an amazing night, and I'm so glad that y'all joined in. I'm glad that the feed lasted this whole time. It's awesome. I'm going to pray for us, but before I do want to give you a couple of announcements. If you're interested in going to high school camp with us or middle school camp, high school camp is going to be in Galveston, June 8th through the 11th, and middle school camp is later in June. We're going to Arkansas to do Super Summer. It's going to be amazing. We've extended the cheap price registration. So it's $350 to go. That includes a room, getting there. It includes food, all that stuff. It's going to be, both of those camps are going to be amazing. So you can register now through May 1st and get the cheap price. If for some reason high school camp cancels, you will be refunded. We will refund you the money, but right now it is a go, and I can't think of a better thing to do right when we get out of this whole craziness, but to go worship with Mosaic Worship, hear from Levi Lusko, be with you guys on the beach. It's going to be fantastic. So I hope that you join us for summer camp. Right now, we're all in. So love you guys. We have a Spotify playlist. If you want to worship with us right now, we're putting songs every week up that are different. And then again, like I said with YouVersion, if you want to read the Bible with us, you can. We're going to send those plans out soon. But subscribe, follow us on YouVersion so you know what we're reading. Follow us on social media and especially YouTube. We're going to be putting more and more stuff on YouTube as we go into the coming days. So love you guys. Let me pray for you, and I hope y'all have a good night, all right? By the way, there's a guy working on my fence. Can y'all hear that? He's like working on my fence right now. It's broke. Moved into a house. Y'all know the story. Anyway, he's working pretty late. But cool. We're going to pray over that. All right. Father, I thank you for these students. I thank you that they spent the time tonight just to tune in and be together and to find some connection. Lord, there are a lot of students that aren't with us right now that need connection, that they are lonely and they're not reaching out. And I pray that we, all of us, would be the ones to go first, to be the ones that are the friend first, that connect with those that are hurting, with those that we haven't heard from in a while. Help us to be mindful of others, and Lord, fill us up in that. 'Cause sometimes I'm lonely, and sometimes I don't feel like reaching out. But would you help us be the light right now? God, you are with us. We are not alone. We're all in this together, God. So remind us of that daily, and be with us. We love you in Jesus' name. And everybody said, amen. Hey, love you guys. Y'all are all so amazing. Tune in next week. We'll see you real soon.